We start tonight with new details about the Laclede cab driver who was killed on the job. Good evening. Thanks for joining us. I'm Mike Bush.
And I'm Kate Quinn. At some point, a routine pickup turned violent. On Monday night, the body of a 66-year-old man was found in the middle of a North St. Louis street.
5 on your side's Rachel Menitoff breaks down the night's timeline of events. She's live at the Laclede Cab Company on Van Deventer.
Mike, inside each one of these taxis, there is a GPS tracking system. So Laclede was able to track their driver's last call, but at some point that equipment was destroyed and they lost communication.
I'm right in the exit interview now, what we call, so when the drivers leave. And unfortunately, this is Boris's exit.
Anytime an employee leaves the company, Daryl Peaks adds an exit interview to his or her file. He's the general manager at Laclede Cabs. But this isn't an interview he wanted or expected to be writing.
Boris, his independent contractor's lease was terminated due to the fact Boris was murdered.
His employee of 24 years was killed Monday night.
His son and his grandson was, was the love of his life.
Boris Uyukin was found unconscious in the middle of East Dodier in North St. Louis. He had a puncture wound to his head and was bleeding heavily.
You get sick to your stomach, man.
The next day, on Tuesday, Boris's taxi was found in the driveway of an abandoned home in the Castle Point neighborhood. Thanks to GPS tracking, Daryl shared with us what he knows about Boris's last ride.
He got a call to pick up a passenger up in North County. And he was supposed to have been taking, his destination was to be taking him downtown.
He was supposed to go to 205 North 18th Street.
And then about 9:30 or something, that's when I think that's the last communication that we had with the cab.
Somewhere in between that initial call and 9:30 or so, Boris was violently attacked. The suspect still at large.
Boris got a lot of savvy, he's a veteran. So I'm pretty sure they caught him really off guard.
Daryl says that even though safety is number one, sometimes you run into a bad situation.
People can deceive you.
He says he thinks about the last time he saw Boris, who is constantly on his mind and in his heart.
And I can still see him in my mind, he's just smiling and walking along. That's just him. I can still hear his voice.
Daryl says that many of Boris's co-workers have been contributing to a small fund that they will give to Boris's family. As far as we know, no funeral plans have yet been made, but we'll continue to update you on any arrangements. Reporting live from downtown St. Louis, Rachel Menitoff, 5 on your side.
All right, thank you, Rachel. This is at least the second time a Laclede cab driver has been killed in less than 2 years. It was September 2016 that Timothy Grice was found shot to death in his cab in the Central West End. Police say it happened during a robbery, and it was more than 8 hours before anyone even knew. 2 teens were charged in that murder case.